Hello everyone, welcome to today's video of Easy Neuro. Today's topic is action potential. Now in our previous video we discussed about the resting membrane potential, which is basically the voltage across the membrane of a neuron when it is at rest, right? Now the resting membrane potential is around minus 65 to minus 70 millivolts, okay? And we also discussed that during the resting state of the neuron, extracellularly, okay, so this is the lipid bilayer that we drew before, okay, and there is a positive charge on the outside, and inside the neuron there is a negative charge, okay. And we also discussed that in the lipid bilayer there are ion channels which are present, okay, so special proteins which help in the movement of ions across the cell membrane, okay. And there is the sodium potassium pump also, which help in maintaining the resting membrane potential along with the leak channels, right? Now there are another group of ion channels which are present in the lipid bilayer. They are called voltage gated sodium or potassium channels, okay. So there are voltage gated sodium channels which allow only the movement of sodium, and voltage gated potassium channels which allow the movement of only potassium. Now they are voltage gated, which means that they will open only when there is a change in the voltage, okay. So any voltage change results in the opening of these channels and the movement of the respective ions then, okay. Now these voltage gated channels play a very important role in the action potential, okay. So what is action potential? It's basically a brief reversal of the resting membrane potential when the inside of the membrane becomes positively charged with respect to the outside, okay. So it's just a reversal of the resting membrane potential, okay. It's fast, it's sudden. So a reversal means that during the action potential, that means when a signal, okay, arrives at the neuron, okay, there will be an action potential which is generated at the axon hillock, okay. We discussed that axon hillock is a part of the axon which is very close to the soma, okay, and that is where the action potentials are generated, okay. And then they will be generated there, and they will run through the axon and then reach the axon terminals and then go on to the postsynaptic neuron, right? So during the resting, during the generation of the action potential, okay, so it is a brief reversal of the resting membrane potential, that is there's a reverse of the charge, okay. So during this action potential generation, the inside becomes positive and outside becomes negative, okay. So how that happens is that once this signal comes to the neuron, okay, at the axon hillock, what happens is there is a flow of sodium ions, okay. So the voltage gated sodium channels open and there is an influx of sodium inside the cell, okay. Now as these sodium ions are coming in, the voltage will start shifting towards the positive side, okay. So from minus 70 it will start moving towards the positive side, right? Now once it reaches a threshold, okay, so once it reaches a voltage of minus 55, which we call as the threshold potential, okay, once that is crossed, we say that the neuron is now depolarized, okay, or depolarization has occurred, okay. So once depolarization has occurred, it means that action potential will be generated, okay. So once the threshold of minus 55 has been crossed, the neuron is said to be depolarized, okay. And then there is again the influx of sodium is further going on, okay. So it's a rapid influx of sodium such that the voltage inside the neuron can get up to plus 30 millivolts, okay. So this is called the peak voltage, okay. The maximum voltage that can be reached is around plus 30 millivolts, and okay, so the inside of the neuron becomes positively charged and outside is negative in during this case, okay. And the voltage gated potassium channels are closed at this time, okay. Now the next step in this process is, what happens is, now once the peak voltage of plus 30 millivolts has been reached, okay, what happens, the voltage gated sodium channels, they start closing, okay, voltage gated sodium channels start closing and the voltage gated potassium channels open, okay. So what they do is, the potassium channels, they go out of the cell, okay. So there's an efflux of potassium, the potassium ions go out of the cell, okay, they go to the extracellular side, and that is called repolarization, okay. Now because the sodium ions are going out, what happens, the voltage inside the membrane starts getting down again, okay. So it starts moving towards the negative side again, okay, because of this efflux of potassium. All right, so now the inside is again getting towards the negative side, okay, because the positive ions are going out. All right, and the last step in this process is that the voltage gated sodium channels are completely closed, okay. So there is no movement of the sodium ions, okay, and the voltage gated potassium channels, they close slowly, okay. Okay, so that means there is some amount of potassium which is still going out, okay. And because of this reason, because of the slow closing of the potassium channels, there is a voltage which is lesser than the resting membrane potential which occurs, okay. And that is called hyperpolarization, okay. So what happens during hyperpolarization is that the voltage reaches around minus 90 millivolts, okay. So it becomes more negative than the resting membrane potential, which is because of the slow closing of the voltage gated potassium channels, okay. Now once the voltage gated potassium channels, they completely close, what happens, um, there is the resting state is then again maintained, okay. So it comes back to the resting state, the resting membrane potential, and the leak channels and the sodium potassium pump, they are playing their role in then maintaining these resting potentials, okay. So these are the four important steps of basically the generating the action potential. So first we have the resting potential, okay, then the membrane gets depolarized, then it gets repolarized because of the opening of potassium channels, then it gets hyperpolarized, okay, so the potentials get more negative than the RMP, and then finally once the potassium channels close, the resting state is again achieved, okay. Now action potential, it is also commonly represented in this graphical form, okay. So you must have seen this graph many times. It's one common way of representing it. So on the x-axis we have the time, okay, in milliseconds, and on the y-axis we have the membrane potential in millivolts, okay. So let's see this graph. So at minus 70 we have the RMP, okay, the resting membrane potential. Once there is a signal which comes, okay, a stimulus comes to the neuron, okay. So at the axon hillock we have opening of the sodium channels, the voltage gated sodium channels open, and there's an influx of sodium, okay. So in sodium causes the potential to start moving towards zero, okay. Once it reaches minus 55 and it crosses the threshold potential, the membrane is said to be depolarized, okay. So depolarization occurs because of this influx of sodium, and it keeps on rising and reaches the peak voltage, which is plus 30 millivolts, right, and the peak voltage occurs. Now after the peak voltage has been achieved, the sodium channels, they close and the voltage gated potassium channels open. So there's the efflux of potassium, that is potassium goes out of the cell, that is called repolarization, right. So repolarization keeps on happening, and because of the slow closing of the potassium channels, voltage gated potassium channels, the voltage becomes more negative than the RMP, okay. So it reaches around minus 90, right. But once the potassium channels then close, again the RMP is achieved. Okay, so because of the leak channels and sodium potassium pump, then again we get the RMP. Okay, and it is maintained. Okay, until unless another stimulus comes. Alright, so this part is called the action potential. Okay, so this is the part where we generate the action potential. Now there's also another part which is called the refractory period. Okay, so it's just a brief period after the generation of the action potential. Okay, before the RMP is maintained. So what happens in refractory period is it's basically a small period of diminished excitability. Okay, which means that during this time it is very difficult to again excite the neuron. Okay, and there are two types of refractory periods. There's an absolute and there's a relative refractory period. Okay, absolute refractory period is the one in which it is absolutely impossible to excite the neuron. Okay, no matter how strong a stimulus we give to it. Okay, that is absolute refractory period. And then it is followed by the relative refractory period, which is when if we give a stimulus which is stronger than the usual one, okay, the usual which is given to excite the neuron, then it is possible to again generate an action potential in that neuron. Okay, so if we give a stimulus which is stronger, okay, than the usual one we give to the neuron, then it is possible to again generate the action potential in that neuron. Okay, so that is called the relative refractory period. Okay, so that this is this graph which is again very commonly used to represent the action potential, different stages of it. Okay, so let's recap with this simple flow chart now. Okay, so we have the resting membrane potential which is at minus 70 millivolts. So when the stimulus arrives at the neuron, what happens? At the axon hillock, there will be opening of the voltage gated sodium channels. Okay, so sodium channels will open and sodium ions will come inside the cells. So there will be sodium influx. Okay, and they will cross the threshold. Okay, so the influx of the sodium ions causes the potential to move towards the positive side. Okay, and once it crosses the threshold voltage, we call it as depolarization. Okay, depolarization, and there's a generation of the action potential. Okay, now once the peak voltage has been achieved, okay, of plus 30 millivolts, the voltage gated potassium channels open. Okay, so the opening of the potassium channels occurs and the sodium channels they close. Okay, sodium channels they close, potassium channels open. Okay, then that means there is repolarization which occurs when there is the efflux of potassium. Okay, so potassium ions are going out of the cell now. Alright, then because of the slow closing of potassium channels, there is hyperpolarization, okay, of minus 90 millivolts. So there is the voltage becoming more negative than the RMP. Okay, and once then the refractory period, everything is done, again the RMP is achieved in the neuron. Okay, so again it is at rest until unless it again gets a stimulus, a new stimulus. Okay, so this is a brief flow chart to explain the different stages. Okay, this is an important graph again to represent the action potential. Okay, so this was today's video on action potential. If you have any questions, please write it in the comments below, and also if you have any suggestions on the topics you would like to understand. Till then, thank you very much. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel, and till then, thank you and see you again.